Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to do a AS level question from paper 2 variant 22 May-June 2020 question 2 based on depreciation. The question states that Q Limited is a small wholesale business. It uses the reducing balance method of depreciation to depreciate the delivery vehicles. In the A bit of the question, we are asked to explain one advantage and one disadvantage to a business of using the reducing balance method of depreciation. Before answering this question, let's first understand the most common methods of depreciation, which is reducing balance method of depreciation and straight line method of depreciation, with the help of an example where we have a machine which costs $10,000 and the rate of depreciation is 10%. So when we calculate this based on the reducing balance method and straight line method of depreciation, in the first year the value will be 10,000 times 10%, which is 1,000, and same in the straight line method, that is 10,000 times 10%, which is the rate of depreciation, it will be $1,000. However, in the second year, in the reducing balance method of depreciation, what we do is we calculate the depreciation based on the net book value, or based on the new terminology, it is called as the carrying amount. So we calculate the depreciation based on the carrying amount, that is the cost. From there we subtract the depreciation. Here the depreciation is just for 1 year, and if we go for the further 3 years or 4 years, we will subtract the provision for depreciation from the cost and will get the net book value or the carrying amount as 9,000 for second year, and then we find the depreciation based on this net book value or the carrying amount, that is 9,000 times 10% will be $900. And for the straight line method, it remains same because we calculate the rate of depreciation in straight line method based on the cost. So the cost remains same, hence the depreciation will also remain same, that is 10,000 times 10%, which will be $1,000. So if we see in the reducing balance method, in the first year the depreciation is high, and in the second year and as the year passes by, it starts reducing or diminishing. And in the straight line method, we will have the depreciation same throughout the useful life of the asset. So if we draw a graph based on this, it will be like this, that is the depreciation keeps on reducing throughout the useful life of the asset. So this is called as reducing balance method, or sometimes it is also referred as diminishing balance method of depreciation. And in straight line method, as the depreciation remains same, hence when we draw this on the graph, we will get a straight line or a parallel line against the x-axis. So this is called as straight line method of depreciation, or sometimes it is also referred as fixed installment method of depreciation. So these are the two most common use methods of depreciation. Now we will understand what is the advantage and disadvantage of using the reducing balance method of depreciation. You see, the advantage of using the reducing balance method of depreciation is that here the depreciation which is charged is in more realistic way, and it is realistically charged against the profit. Why? Because some assets like the technological assets loses more value in the first year of its useful life compared to the later years. Like for example, if you take your phone, the value which is lost in the first year is much higher when compared to the later years. So when we charge the depreciation on the basis of reducing balance method, we charge it in a more realistic way, that is a higher depreciation is charged in the first year when there is a greater depreciation in the value, and as the value of asset reduces, we reduce the charges of depreciation. So because of this is a more practical way of charging the depreciation against profit. However, there are some disadvantages of this method. The most important disadvantage here is the calculation of the depreciation is much complicated when we compare to the straight line method of depreciation. Here what we are doing is we are calculating the depreciation on the carrying amount or the net book value, and this keep changing every year. Hence we have to calculate the depreciation every year, as the depreciation will change every year. However, if we go for a straight line method of depreciation, there the calculation is much easier because The depreciation remains same and you don't need to calculate it every year. So this is much easier when compared to the reducing balance method of depreciation, which is the major disadvantage of reducing balance method of depreciation. Furthermore, additional information is provided which states that the delivery vehicle A was purchased on 1st January 2018 for $36,000. Delivery vehicle B was purchased on 1st April 2018 for $40,000. Depreciation of 20% per annum have been provided annually using the reducing balance method. A full year's depreciation is charged in the year of acquisition and none in the year of disposal. The business financial year end is 31st December. And in the paper of the question, we are asked to calculate the balance of delivery vehicle provision for depreciation account at 31st December 2019. Now let's calculate the balance of provision for depreciation for both the vehicles. For vehicle A, it was purchased in 2018 and a full year's depreciation is to be charged in the year of acquisition. So for 2018, for vehicle A, the cost is $36,000 and the rate of depreciation is 20%. So $36,000 times 20% will be $7,200. For vehicle B, the cost is $40,000 and the rate of depreciation is 20%. So 40,000 times 20%, it will be $8,000. In 2019, as we are calculating the depreciation based on the reducing balance method, we have to first find the carrying amount. For that, what we'll do, we'll take the cost and from there we subtract the depreciation. We will get the carrying amount for vehicle A in 2019 as $28,800 and then we will multiply it with 20%. We will get the depreciation as $5,760. In the same way for vehicle B, here the cost was $40,000 and from there we subtract the depreciation. We will get the carrying amount as $32,000 and times 20%, which is the rate of depreciation, we will get the depreciation for vehicle B for 2019 as $6,400. Now we have to mention the provision for depreciation values for both vehicle A and vehicle B. For vehicle A, the provision for depreciation will be the sum of $7,200 plus $5,760, it will be $12,960. And for vehicle B, it will be $8,000 plus $6,400, it will be $14,400. This is for individual vehicle. We have to give the balance of depreciation for the delivery vehicles as a whole, as a total. So we will add this 12,960 plus $14,400. We'll get the total as $27,360. This will be the balance of provision for depreciation account at 31st December 2019. Furthermore, additional information is provided which states that on 1st Feb 2020, delivery vehicle C was purchased at cost of $38,000. Delivery vehicle B was sold in part exchange for delivery vehicle C. A check for $30,000 was paid on the date in full settlement of the amount remaining part exchange. In the C bit of the question, we are asked to prepare the delivery vehicle cost account. So this delivery vehicle cost account will be our assets account and the rules are debit wherever there is an increase and credit when there is a decrease. So in 2018 on 1st January we purchased a delivery vehicle A, and as we have purchased, so the assets have been increased, that is there is a addition of delivery vehicle in our business which increases our assets. So when it is increased, it is debited. So we have debited here bank, as delivery vehicle A was purchased through bank and this is $36,000. And then again in the same year on 1st April, what we did, we purchased a delivery vehicle B. So as again this increases our assets of delivery vehicle in our business, so we will debit it. So here April 1st bank delivery vehicle B and the value was $40,000. And now it is further given that on 1st Feb 2020 a delivery vehicle C was purchased. And how this was purchased? The total amount is $38,000 and we have paid only $30,000, that is the $8,000 which is remaining will be the part exchange value of delivery vehicle B. So here we have purchased, as purchase of the asset increases the overall assets, so it should be debited again. That is on 20th Feb 1st, the delivery vehicle C which was purchased, this is for bank and check is given, so 30,000 for bank and 8,000 for the disposal of or the part exchange of vehicle B. And as we have given this in part exchange, that means delivery vehicle B is no longer with us, it is given. So as it is given in part exchange, this will decrease our assets, and decrease in our assets should be credited. So this was done on 1st Feb 2020. So on 1st Feb 2020, there is a disposal of delivery vehicle B, and the value of delivery vehicle B was $40,000. And after this, what we'll do is we will balance the account, that is we total this debit side which will be $114,000. From there we subtract this $40,000, we will be left with $74,000. This is the balance of delivery vehicles at cost which is still in our business. So that is $74,000, and then we add $74,000 as well as $40,000, we'll get the total as $114,000, and this will be the account for delivery vehicle at cost. Next, additional information is provided. The delivery vehicles are depreciated because they are subjected to wear and tear. In the debit of the question, we are asked to state two reasons other than wear and tear for depreciation of non-current assets. The first reason which I have given here is obsolescence or obsolete. These assets may get obsolete, outdated because of the new technology, as now we have vehicles which are automated or automatically driven vehicles are in use. It may be the old vehicles, maybe manual vehicles with manual gears, and as they became obsolete, it is depreciated. Then because of lapse of time, sometimes we take the or acquire the assets on lease, and this will be only for a number of years. Like we have, say here we have taken the vehicles on a lease of 5 years period. So as the number of year decreases, the value of asset decreases, and hence it should be depreciated. And the other reason is inadequacy in terms of quantity or in terms of quality. As I told you, in terms of quality, we can say the vehicles now we have are more speed and more fast, so the delivery can be done in a much reduced time. So because of this, it is depreciated. Or in terms of quantity, they may require a big delivery vehicle compared to what they have previously. So because of this, the value of the delivery vehicle have been reduced, have been depreciated. And then the next one which we have, the reason is depletion. Depletion are for those assets which are used up or which are exhausted over time, like mines or oil wells. What happened is, with the extraction of minerals from mines or extraction of oil from the oil wells, the value starts depreciating, and hence depreciation is required. So these are the various reasons for which we do the depreciation, and with this we have completed this question. Thanks for watching my videos and have a great life.